Hey guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like, leave a comment, all that jazz. I'm a Bitcoin Nvidia investor, and I have a plan to invest in these two things for the next 10 years. This kind of documents my journey, what happens, all the fluctuations, yada, yada, yada. So please feel free to tune in and subscribe and like the video. So anyways, the problem with Bitcoin. So, up until a couple months ago, I thought Bitcoin and crypto was a complete farce. I thought it was. I'm like, this is like artificial gold. It doesn't really produce any value. It's not a product for people to use. It doesn't produce a service for people to use. There's no distinct kind of leadership with Bitcoin that, can kind of guide us and let us know what's going to happen, right? It's kind of like, it was like artificial gold for me. I'm like, this is bullshit. And that same opinion is the same opinion that people like Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, some of these other mainstream investors. I mean, Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger since he's passed away, but those two people are very, very well respected in the investment community. I respect them a lot, but they really shit talk Bitcoin and crypto in general because it's not a company, right? Doesn't have an earnings sheet or whatever the fuck. So, and that's kind of the general sentiment you get from places like CNBC and like some of the people on there and the perspective they have, or even some of these other, you know, like outlets like for investing and stuff like that. They think Bitcoin's a complete farce, right? They think it's a joke. And that in turn, when you have people like that talking down on something that are well respected, it turns away potential investors. It turns away people from a potential opportunity to make money and change their lives for the better, right? And I think that's what the main problem with Bitcoin is. If you look at content for like crypto and Bitcoin creators online, and you look at news, even like what the people that Bloomberg, Fox Business, CNBC, all the people that they bring on to positively talk about crypto are generally younger, and they're generally more of I don't know how to explain it. They just have they have a feel to them that they're more of a like an outcast, or they're not really they're not part of the group, if you know what I mean. It's very difficult to explain, but I think some of you can kind of relate to that. And that's kind of the issue, because if someone like Warren Buffett came out and was like, hey, cryptocurrency is something that combats inflation, there's a finite amount of it, and it will probably continue to grow over the long term, it would create a lot more interest in it, a whole lot more interest in it. But because these people, they're so fucking stuck to their ways of, you got to create a product or provide some kind of service in order to be to be valuable. I mean, how about gold? Fucking gold is the concept's the same. So, but it's interesting. Those people don't want to shit talk gold and this and that. And, well, it's tangible, and you can wear it and yada yada yada. They just don't get it. But here's where things get interesting. You look at the big, investment firms, Vanguard, Fidelity, and Blackrock. Blackrock just last summer, less than a year ago, came out with a report, and they basically recommend, I have it up here right in front of me, they advise for an 84.9% Bitcoin allocation in traditional investment portfolios. 84.9%. These guys came into existence like 10 years after Vanguard, and they're like the leading asset management firm in the fucking world right now, in the whole globe. And it's amazing. I'm reading it right now. In the paper, BlackRock researchers suggest that the optimal allocation to Bitcoin in an investment portfolio consisting of 60% equities, 40% bonds, should be a substantial 84.9%. A fucking Bitcoin. That's BlackRock saying that. So, listen, these ETFs coming into existence, all this hype right now with Bitcoin, again, similar to AI, we are just at the beginning stages of where this will end up long term. And I just got into this. These other players, these veterans that have been around for 6 to 10 years, they've already been through this. They know what to expect, and they're holding tight onto their Bitcoin and, you know, stacking Satoshi or stacking Bitcoin, whatever the fuck. And this is just my entry point right now. And for a lot of you guys, I'm sure it's the same. Some of you guys are still hodling or whatever. Again, this is starting to get mainstream attention, and it's gonna grow over the long term. Bitcoin and a lot of these other growth stocks, they're incredibly volatile. It's not just a straight line up. There's gonna be dips. You know, not talking about Bitcoin, but the last 6 months of 2023, my investment in Nvidia barely moved. It barely moved, but I was like, nah, I'm fucking holding this thing long term. And then just at the beginning of the year, it skyrocketed, you know. And that's just goes to the volatility of these kinds of things. Bitcoin and Nvidia, you know, they kind of stay complacent, and then they shoot up, then they drop down, and that's just a part of the game. So getting back to Bitcoin, these guys, like these traditional investors and shit like that, you know, they can go kick rocks. Who gives a fuck? Bitcoin in value is going to continue to go up, and it's going to be worth a lot more within the next 5-10 years. A lot more. If you just sit tight and you hold on to it. You stack your Satoshi, you stack your fucking Bitcoin, whatever, and you just hold on to it, right? You guys, there's always like videos on YouTube, people saying this and that, isn't it going to drop, and this, and like fear mongering, because that's kind of what gets views and that's what sells. Just fucking buy the thing and hold on to it. That's literally it. Buy it and hold. So anyways, again, respect those traditional investors, but at the same time, go kick rocks. Those fucking, like, you know, you want to go invest in Coca-Cola, McDonald's, which two things I fucking enjoy every week. Go ahead. But meantime, there's other growth things and other ventures people can invest in to increase their money and combat inflation and the fucking U.S. government just printing money at a whim and getting to do whatever the fuck they want. So that's my video for this. And yeah, guys, again, like, subscribe. See you soon.